Hello, I'm Kevin Lentz with French Grocery. Welcome back to Wine Wednesday. Today we're taking a bit of a detour across the Alps into the Piedmont of Italy. Honestly though, it's not that much of a detour. We've got a great presence for these wonderful Italian wines in our shop. But you might be thinking, hey, I want to learn more about your trip to France, and I'm thinking it's going to be another year before I go back. So I've got to stretch these memories out for a little while for some good content. But I had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine who goes to France a lot. And the irony was we talked very little about France and mostly about, I don't even know how it got started, but this is a region that we both love, and I meet a lot of people that get to go here, and I've met a lot of these winemakers, and it quite possibly might be the most charming place I can imagine. Fantastic wine, great food, beautiful scenery. From any one of these places, you can look out from the vineyards and see the Alps, just snow-capped peaks. It's extraordinary. So let's talk with maybe the most famous parts of the region, and then I'll give you a reason to just drink around the whole place and spend a little bit less money than over here. So here we have a Barolo and a Barbaresco, the two best-known appellations from this region. These are made from the Nebbiolo grape. The Nebbiolo grape has an interesting problem, in that it's highly tannic. At the same time, particularly because of the region that it's from here, we're far north, like I said, near the Alps, high altitude, we also have a low fruit presence. So Cabernet Sauvignon has great big tannin, but you can get a lot of great fruit out of it. It needs to be in warm places. This is a wholly different animal, and that's what makes it so special when these wines really meet the epitome of what they're meant to become. So we have neighboring sort of sister villages here, Barolo being the most popular. This producer is particularly notorious, I guess, Ilio Altare, because of what this gentleman did. He came from, like I said, it's a very charming place. Provençal in a sense, although it's not Provence, but I mean, they really don't think much outside of their box. Historically, they are very community and village oriented. They did not examine how wine was made across the globe and even across the Alps and France. So there's a great story behind this producer. I recommend you look it up. There's even some popular documentaries these days about the sort of revolution that went on in this community. And it really was all about barrels. Let's take our really old clunky barrels that were passed down to us from our grandfathers and break them up, and let's use small barrique barrels like what they're using in Burgundy and Bordeaux. Let's add more oak influence, trying to round out these tannins, make them more approachable. That combined with some really modern winemaking and techniques, and we can drink these wines inside of a decade now, where it used to be even longer than that. Really great aged Barolo and Barbaresco are real treats, and I really think that these great producers, two of them we have here, are making fantastic wines for the ages, and it's not something you should neglect if you are stocking your cellar. But you should also feel a little bit better about drinking these today, or at least try to get a few years on them. But with some decanting, and the nice thing is it's just some patience. I mean, drink half a bottle over the next few days, it's going to open up to you. For Burgundy lovers out there, you're going to love these wines. It's a natural transition, single varietal, cold region, a lot of in common winemaking techniques now. Well, I wish I could say that as Burgundy gets more expensive, these are more accessible, but the world is chasing after these wines from Barbaresco and Barolo as well. So enjoy them while you can today. They're wonderful wines. They're great food pairings. Awesome culinary region. Great truffle place, pasta, but not really your southern Italian fare, much more roasted meats. A very different experience. So as I point out, these two wines here, these are also made from Nebbiolo. This is simply Langhe Nebbiolo. So Langhe is the larger region that we're going to find Barolo and Barbaresco in, and that we'll also find Barbera and Dogliana in. But So this just means that, kind of like a Bourgogne Rouge means that it's got to be made from Pinot Noir that comes from anywhere within that region. A Longuet Nebbiolo means that it must be Nebbiolo that comes from anywhere in that region. This is from Sottimano, Andrea Sottimano. Had the pleasure of getting snowed into Denver with him once and getting stuck in a loft, hanging out, drinking a lot of his wines and other wines from this region. He's a pretty charming guy. I really love the people of this region that I've gotten to meet. He makes great Barbaresco, really world-class Barbaresco. This is essentially young vine Barbaresco, other declassified Barbaresco, that he could put in a bottle, give it to us at a lower price. Because it is younger and less pedigreed, it is more tannic, it's a little harder to open up, but you throw this in a decanter, you open it up, take a few sips, give it a few days. I mean, these wines still open up beautifully, give you a great taste of what this region can do. Gamay, this is another appellation. We're going further north, even closer to the Alps from Barolo and Barbaresco. You'll notice this is an 07 vintage. I've got plenty of this in stock. These wines need time to age. They really reach their epitome when they do. I've got one right here. This is drinking beautifully, and it's only going to get better. They don't take a lot from us to age them because of the high tannin that's in these wines. This is a moderately priced wine in the 30s. I've always recommended it to people who want to get to know Nebbiolo better, and they're not so fixated on sort of the queen and king, the royalty of the region. And here we have a Barbera di Alba and a Dogliani. This is another one of my favorite producers who's come into French Grocery and done an event with us before. Giuseppe Vieira, very charming guy. These people all are the epitome of class, I think. But in their region, when I asked Giuseppe, I said, well, what are you drinking every day? You can go into your cellar probably and drink 30-year-old Barolo that your father, your grandfather made. What are you drinking every day? And he said, well, honestly, we need to sell those things because we have to keep the lights on like everybody else. But the people of my region, we're drinking Barbera and Dogliani every day. These are our cafe wines. These are the wines that we're enjoying with our lunches and with our suppers. Barbera might feel a little more muscular than Dogliani. I should say a Dolcetto from Dogliani. Dogliani is the appellation. Dolcetto is the grape that's in there. The grape in here is Barbera, and it's Barbera di Alba. So di Alba is the region, that's another village, Alba, that's nearby. But Dolcetto literally translates to the little sweet one, but that's only in comparison to Nebbiolo. Dolcetto is not really a very sweet wine. It can still be very earthy. It can still have wonderful herbal aromatics, great minerality. It's still a cool region varietal, but the tannin is a little bit softer here than we're going to find in the Barbera, and the Barbera is a little bit softer than we're going to find in Nebbiolo. So these are much more accessible, more widely planted, require a little bit less to make wonderful wines, but like in Vieira's case, this is world-class Barbera, but I have things that are more accessible, about half the price, that are terrific and wonderful cafe wines, great to have with really pizza, any roast meat, anything you wanted to put it up against too. But one of my favorites and the things that people don't, I think, spend a lot of time drinking is a great Dolcetto from all over the region. This one in particular is from Dogliani, from a producer that focuses on Dolcetto. And that's great, Pecorino. They make fantastic wine. I love this. I can't think of any Italian dish I wouldn't want to drink this with. Even some lighter fare, chicken, and certainly tuna is very popular in this region, and I think it would even go well with that. So an amazing culinary region and wine region with enormous history that's been waking up over the past couple of decades into the modern era of winemaking, and they're sought all over the world. With great producers that are still very down to earth, the kind of people that will still come visit us here in Arizona and come spend time with the retailers and with the importers and the distributors. And that's really important because I can put a face to these wines in the same way you can put a face to these wines with me, and it means a lot to me, and it's a proud selling point to be able to have these in our portfolio. So please pick them up and look into them, and for those serious collectors out there, these are certainly two that are worth laying down for a very long time. So anyway, come visit me at French Grocery. I'm Kevin Lentz. Maybe next time we'll talk about some French wine again. I won't leave you hanging on that. So have a great week. We'll see you next time.